An olive is a fruit and an olive oil is a fruit juice. And I always tell people, do you want your fruit juice to be fresh or old? Would you want it to be stored in the fridge or outside? Most of the olive oil in the supermarket is actually lampante. Lampante comes from lamp, which means it's not suitable for human consumption. Olive oil is such a precious thing. It needs to smell like freshly cut grass, and it's really hard to get. It is harvested once a year, and you have a 10-day window to harvest and press and store. So if you ever see an ad that's telling you, look at this beautiful color, don't buy from them, right? The color of the olive oil does not matter. I always say there are 5 enemies of olive oil: humidity, oxygen, age, heat, and light. You know, people look at olive oil as a fat, and I look at it as a chemistry, as something that cures. Olive oil is one of the healthiest things on earth.
Hello and welcome back to the Gayu Lewis Podcast. Today we are talking about one of the most misunderstood food in the world: extra virgin olive oil. How do you choose the right one? Can you cook with it? Is expensive always better? And are you really getting the health benefits you think you are? I think this episode's a little different because we're not just talking about olive oil, we're going to be tasting it. Actually, I'm the lucky one. I'm going to be tasting it. My guest today is Hanan, Wedbi, who is an olive oil sommelier. She's passionate about preserving the Levantine heritage through olive oil, which is one of the reasons she started Maknoun. Through Maknoun, she has curated an experience that goes beyond tasting, and one that is about understanding, appreciating, and experiencing the craft of extra virgin olive oil. So let's start tasting. Actually, we're going to talk first. Yeah, tasting's a little later. Hanan, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. I love this introduction.
I am very excited about this episode. Like I said, when I came across an olive oil sommelier in UAE, in Dubai, and I was jumping like a little kid, in a candy store. Because like I said, I'm a chef by profession, and food and olive oil has always been very close to my heart. I specialize in Italian cuisine. So I spent quite a few years of my life in Italy, doing the olive oil tasting at different places. So, finding out that there is somebody here talking about olive oil, but again from a different region completely, because I think once I came to UAE, I've tasted olive oil from very, very different regions, right? So I'm super excited about this podcast, and we want to just talk everything olive oil today.
Okay, I'm ready. Where do you want to start? Why don't we start about maybe 2,000 years ago? I always start this basically information by saying the rumors are true. They initially kind of like discovered the olive tree in the Levant region. So I know that some regions and some countries would say that we discovered it or it originated from our country, which is fine. There's a pride element in it. But actually the first signs of an olive tree and the whole industry of olive oil started in the Levant region. And it was taken then by the Phoenicians, who were naturally traders, to ancient Greece and then the Roman Empire. So we're talking about a legacy of, 2,000 years old. And the olive tree is actually even older than this. It's a 6,000 year legacy. Yeah. But the time when they started looking at it as something they can experience, they can process, and they can eat is about 2,000 years ago. So the Phoenicians took it to ancient Greece, and as you know, in Greece, the olive oil industry is quite big. And then the Roman Empire took it on, and they created the grading system. And as you know now, olive oil competitions around the world. And even back then, the Roman Empire used to do where I think the Olympics started, and they used to associate the olive branch with success. They used to crown the winners with the olive branch. And it used to be something that only the rich people had because of the process of the olive oil and understanding actually how you take the olive and how long you need to process it, and it needed to be mechanical means, obviously before machineries or anything. It needed to be crushed, and it needed to be juiced, and it needed to be stored in a certain way. So it was quite difficult to get olive oil. This is why it was only known for the rich and for the emperor, and only, you know, people from the like royal family. And then obviously it was commercialized and then sent back to North Africa and the Levant region all over again. But yeah, this is the history of it.
But what got you interested into olive oil?
So I've been here for 30 years. And every time someone goes back to Lebanon, I'm always asking them to bring me either olive oil or za'atar or something that we cannot find here. I mean, the UAE, as you know, is a place where like over 100 nationalities are here, but there's always something missing. You know, I'm sure whenever you go back home, there's something that, you know, you can only taste and feel when it's from home, when it's like your mom or your grandma put it together for you. So I realized that there's a huge diaspora around the world from the Levant region. And it was always a way that we could connect back to our cultures through the food. So I decided to start a brand that brings olive oil from the Levant region. I wanted to just work with Lebanese farmers, but then the more I studied about olive oil, I realized that there's no such thing as one olive oil from one country. You have to be inclusive. Olive oil is, like I said, 6,000-year industry. You cannot just say, oh, this is a good olive oil, and you know, you just have to eat this one. So I gave people the choice to bring olive oil from the Levant region, because I mean, olive oil is quite popular in Greece, Spain, and Italy, but this is the Mediterranean or the Levant region. It actually has the same environment, the same weather, the same kind of similar soil. This is why we have also good quality olive oil, but it's not marketed in the same way. These days, if you say this is an Italian olive oil, people think, okay, it must be good. And I wanted to also educate people that not necessarily, you know, an olive oil should be good, irrespective of where it's coming from. Not because if it's Italian, then it's good. There's good olive oil, there's bad olive oil from any country, right? So I started Maknoun, and I wanted to also normalize the gifting of olive oil, because olive oil is such a precious thing, you know, and it's really hard to get, and it's harvested once a year, and you have like, I don't know, a 10-day window to harvest and press and store. So it's quite a precious thing that you won't have whenever you want, you know. So you do it once a year, you harvest, you press, and then you store, and that's it. And then you have to wait till the next year. So it's quite precious, and that's what the meaning of the word Maknoun is. It's precious and close to the heart. And it's also basically it's kind of a respect for the farmer who stayed behind, and farmers never leave their land. So I wanted also to pay tribute to the farmers. So Maknoun means precious and close to the heart in Arabic. So I brought this essence of these countries, because I believe olive oil is the essence of the country, and I bottled it in the most beautiful bottle and in a box with the story of each farmer, and there's the coordinates of each farm. So I wanted to pay tribute to the farmers without, I don't come from I don't have family in agriculture, or my dad owns a farm, so there was nothing personal in it. It was just a way for me to connect, you know, a diaspora to the region that we're from.
Oh, fantastic. I love your story. It's so inspiring to see, you know, some like your passions actually truly showing in what you're doing currently. Talking about olive oil, right? You spoke about it's a very small window from the time it is plucked to pressing. And you know, when people go to the markets, they're always quite confused because there's so many different types of olive oil that's available, right? You got the olive oil, then you have a extra virgin olive oil, then you have a cold pressed extra virgin olive oil, and then you have a pomace oil and stuff like that. Can you explain to our listeners what is the difference between all these oils?
Okay, so extra virgin olive oil is a virgin olive oil that is extra. So that's how you can define it, and that's how we learned it. Like the textbook definition is it's virgin olive oil because it's God made, you know, and all you have to do is just preserve it. So an olive is a fruit, and an olive oil is a fruit juice. And I always tell people, Do you want your fruit juice to be fresh or old? Would you want it to be stored in the fridge or outside? Do you want it to sit in the sun or in a covered environment? So this is exactly how we should treat olive oil. It needs to be fresh. It needs to be contained within an environment, away from heat, humidity, etc. So virgin olive oil is the technical definition of the olive oil. And then under this is extra virgin, virgin, and lampante. Lampante comes from lamp, which means it's not suitable for human consumption.
Okay.
And I know it's quite shocking for people to hear that most of the olive oil in the supermarket is actually lampante.
Oh.
And I will make you see that today. Okay. So extra virgin olive oil automatically means cold pressed. So there's no such thing. I mean, I have customers who ask me, is it cold pressed?
Yeah.
If it's extra virgin, it's cold pressed.
Okay.
You know, because it cannot be extra virgin if it's not cold pressed. Now, the harvesting technique is different. There's, 2,000-old tree. There's harvested by hand. This is good for the storytelling, but not necessarily for the quality of the olive.
Okay.
For the quality of the olive oil to be good, it means the olives need to be picked in a sweet spot where the olive is between green and purple. It's not black yet. And that's also one of the things that people don't know, is that there is no such thing as a green olive tree and a black olive tree. It's actually the same olive that just, grows old.
Just ripening.
That's it.
Yeah.
So a farmer would know that, okay, this is the sweet spot where my olive is not super raw and it's not super ripe. So it has just enough juice in it, whereby if they leave it longer, it will have more water in it, which will produce more olive oil, but the olive oil quality is not going to be as good. So there's that time, which is around October in the Levant region, and they always say after the first rain, which is kind of a sign from God that you can now harvest, and it kind of cleans the olives, and it makes it ready. And it's hand-picked or picked by a machine. There are different ways. And the fermentation and the oxidation starts from the time the fruit is picked from the tree.
Okay.
So the shorter the time between the picking and the pressing, the better. Because the minute you pick it, it starts fermentation. So it starts like anything, like a fruit, right? So it starts its fermentation process. So sometimes they say not longer than 4 to 6 hours.
Okay.
And I'm telling you all these details because people need to understand what goes behind olive oil. And then we'll talk about the price in a second. But there's like 4 to 6 hours. And imagine, there are, hundreds of farmers, let's say in the south of Lebanon. And there aren't hundreds of pressing facilities or mills, right? So they have to take the time to schedule and to book. And this time costs money, right? Because there's demand. It's the harvest season, it's the pressing season. So there's demand. So basically, I know some farmers that have created their own filling facility only to guarantee the quality of the olive oil.
Okay.
Because you have a long line of farmers and your olives might not be the same quality of my olives. And there isn't time for the machines to be cleaned and sanitized for the contamination, right? Yeah. So they're like back to back, and they bring the olive, like baskets. Yeah. And like I said, because, it's October, so it's not yet cold. So there's like still sun and heat. And the baskets also like add heat to the olive. So their fermentation starts. So these minor details actually affect. So this is where you get the switch between extra virgin and virgin.
Okay.
So as long as you control the entire process from picking, knowing the perfect time, shortening the time between the harvest and the press, knowing where you're pressing and if the machines are clean and they're not contaminated. This is why when people start showing the stones and all these kind of like mats, this is not a good way to press. Like I said, there are some things that are emotional and you need them for the story, and this is like 1,000-year-old mill. Yeah. But they're not in these. I mean, again, that's why the Italians and the Greek and the Spanish people have won awards and have created brand for themselves because of the technology that they have. And again, this is one of the reasons why I started this brand, is because I want to support the farmers that probably don't have the
infrastructure
or even, I mean, there's war every now and then and they're barely making ends meet. So you don't want to say, okay, so you don't know what you're doing. So I wanted to support them, and I wanted to help them, and I wanted to buy their olive oil and make sure that people continue to remember them. And then the pressing happens, and then the pressing needs to be cold pressed, right? So cold pressed means it's pressed at a low temperature, which is under, let's say, 22%. 22 degrees, right? So under 22 degrees. So the minute the olive oil is exposed to heat, its composition starts. Again, we'll answer why you should cook or not cook with olive oil. But heat actually affects the quality of the olive oil. So it needs to be pressed at a temperature of 22 and less, cold press, and then it needs to be stored in away from heat, light, humidity. And I know some people who store it in tanks, and they actually add nitrogen to the tin to remove the oxygen. Even that element of
oxidation.
Even like a slide, they remove it. And this is how I actually get my tins with nitrogen in them. This is how you can guarantee that the olive oil is extra virgin. And usually the acidity is 0.8% and less. This is, again, textbook, lab report will only qualify this as extra virgin if it has acidity 0.8% and less. Anything from 0.8 to 2 is virgin. Anything 2 and above is lampante, or not suitable for
human consumption.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no such thing as second press.
So there's just one press. They press it, and then what happens to the residue?
So when you press the residue again, that's the pomace.
Okay.
But they get rid of it. They throw it away. Even there are some brands now that are pressing olives without the pits. So they pit the olive and then they press them. So they even remove any sediments, and there's night harvest, which is harvest again without any factors of heat
and sunlight.
So there's always ways to kind of improve the quality of the olive oil.
Okay, so I think you've touched on a very important, the whole process that takes it from the fruit to getting it into an oil. And no wonder you're saying that when an expensive olive oil is, because it's gone through that tedious process, everything is meticulously monitored.
And it's limited, Gayu, it's limited. Someone once told me there isn't as much extra virgin olive oil in the market as there is extra virgin olive oil. There isn't. There's disparity between these numbers. All extra virgin olive oil is really rare. Like I said, you don't know how much the land is going to give you. It really, because it's God made, it really depends on the weather, the climate, the soil, how much it rained, the conditions of the farmer, the milling. There's so many factors, and everyone can write extra virgin olive oil on the bottle, but that doesn't mean it's extra virgin.
I was just going to come to that. So like a wine that has the AOC, that says stamped that yes, this is approved. So with olive oil, is there no association that actually allows you to put a certification or call it that this is extra virgin? Or like you're saying, even any oil could tomorrow say, hi, I'm olive.
No, unfortunately not. There's even protected origins in France, in Italy, in Spain. They're protected by the government. We don't have that in our region, but for obvious reasons. People are on survival mode the whole time. Sometimes they just want to sell their olive oil to put their kids in school. And I know firsthand experience from farmers who I worked with as well. So we're trying, even now with the shipping, it was really terrible. What happened in Lebanon, trees were being plucked out. They're throwing phosphorus on olive farms, which is going to take another 10 to 15 years for the soil to recover. So I think this is what their kind of problems are right now. So I don't think we've reached the to go to that level of certification and doing that.
Okay, But just coming on to that same question, so you're saying that in the market, supermarkets, that we get olive oil now, which a lot of brands have saying that this is extra virgin. So you're saying those are, again, don't take them by just the label because this is like marketing, whereas what's inside is not even close to extra virgin olive oil.
I don't want to just say facts for the sake of it, but I think I would say 90% of the olive oil in the supermarket is not extra virgin. And I probably tried most of them. And 10% is, and you won't find them in all supermarkets. You'll find them in premium supermarkets. You'll find them in concept stores and specialty stores. And I always say the easiest way is to buy it and try it, right? Just like skincare. The label can tell you anything, you want to hear. It can tell you takes years off, anti-aging, made naturally of this and that extract. And we've all fallen victims to that. I mean, the number of times I bought skincare just based on the packaging, right? And then you buy it and then you try it and then you realize maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Perfume as well. Obviously with perfume, it has samples, luckily. But then you could buy something, you can buy makeup, you can buy supplements because it says so on the label, but that doesn't mean it works. And people need to treat extra virgin the same way. At the end of the day, so there's quality and there's taste, right? Quality is not guaranteed. When you know the brand and you trust it and you've tried it, then keep buying from that brand,
But if someone has not actually tasted a good quality olive oil, for them, that olive oil will always be the best one, right?
When I do my tasting sessions, there's it's a 90-minute, experience with 7 different glasses in front, blue glasses. We'll say why, in front of each person. And we literally start awakening the senses from, different things until we get to olive oil. And then we go over cooking oil, and then we go over the smell, and I talk about all the processes that, cooking oil, and people are like, I'm never gonna get cooking oil in my house ever again. And then the first thing we try after that is a bad olive oil. And 8 out of 10 people will tell me, finally, that's good olive oil. And I'm like, not yet. And they say, but this is what the olive oil at home tastes like and smells like. And they say, this is what the olive oil in the supermarket and in the restaurant tastes like as well. So you're right. People are actually familiar with it. And because honestly, good extra virgin olive oil is rare to find. Believe me when I tell you, I've tried. So and some people will tell me, okay, it smells old or it smells rancid, and then I give them and then I do tasting of the Lebanese, the Palestinian, and sometimes I do the Greek, the Spanish, it depends. And then I give them the Lebanese or the Palestinian, and they immediately know the difference, and they were like, oh my God, is this what it's supposed to smell like? Is this what it's supposed to taste like? And this is why I keep saying olive is a fruit. It needs to smell fresh. It needs to smell like freshly cut grass, orange leaves. It needs to have that freshness. It makes you smile, basically.
You pointed a very thing, because I remember when in Italy, you go to generally restaurants, right? They give you an olive oil, of course, with balsamic. And then when I did the whole olive oil tasting, and they said, you only give balsamic if the oil is bad.
Wow.
Yeah. Otherwise, traditionally, you just require the bread and the,
You know what? While we're talking about this, olive oil shots, right?
Yeah.
Olive oil shots are probably the best thing you can ever do in your life, right? Only if the olive oil is good. Otherwise, you're wasting your calories. And you're actually harming yourself. And this is one of the things that shocked me when I studied olive oil, is that bad olive oil can actually harm you. Just when you thought olive oil cannot be bad, right? Bad olive oil can actually harm you. It has sediments, it has oxidization, it has fermentation happening in it, and you're actually eating that, and over a long time it will actually start creating infection and things like that. So it has to be good olive oil. It has to be high in polyphenols, and it has to be extra virgin, and freshly squeezed. That's it. And when you have it every morning, I mean, the list of benefits that you get from it is like, it's a long list.
Yeah. You know, I have to ask this because, you know, I just did a podcast with Hadil, who said her first thing that she drinks in the morning, she says, anyone has to be bone broth. Because it's the best that you can feed your gut.
Yeah.
So would olive oil follow the bone broth or should it precede the bone broth?
The idea behind this, what's the logic behind this, okay, is that you don't want, for example, to have coffee as soon as you wake up. Yeah. Everyone says have a glass of water. Now you're going to tell me which comes first, the water or the oil, the water or the bone broth. Actually, if you can do the three, please go for it. You know, it's not one or the other. It's just making sure that the first thing that you're taking and the first experience of food after a fast, that's why they call it breakfast, right? After a fast, it's something that is healthy and is something that coats, you know, your gut and it prepares it, gives it a push, right? What do you give your kid on his first day at school? You know, you give them something to improve their day, to give them energy, to give them confidence. They wear their favorite outfit, you know what I mean? So this is how you should treat your gut every morning. I would say a shot of olive oil because it's quick, and then sip on your bone broth.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. There's no science as to which one comes first. But as long as it's one or the other, and as long as it's good olive oil and good bone broth, then absolutely start with it.
Because now there's the whole trend, right? Olive oil with lemon juice. Does it counteract or does it support?
So I have it with lemon juice, and only because I like to have lemon in the morning. Okay. So I used to have lemon shots with ginger, turmeric in the morning. I'm used to it. So now I'm kind of like combining these two together. And sometimes people add lemon because having a shot of olive oil in the morning is a bit hard for some people, right? Especially if you're not from the Levant. It's quite heavy. You know, I remember one of my friends who is from Scotland. As soon as I launched, I gifted her a bottle. And I was sitting there waiting for her feedback. And then I didn't hear from her till the evening. And I was like, did you try the olive oil? And she was like, it's still morning. Why would I eat olive oil in the morning? So it's really different backgrounds, different cultures. Like olive oil is quite heavy. So people probably have it at night or, you know, with lunch or something. We have it in the morning. So it depends on what you're used to. If it's a good olive oil, you probably have it on its own because it's quite yummy as well. You get all the benefits from it. There's no counter, like one doesn't neutralize the other. And remember, it's a small shot and it's just something that you have.
Fantastic. Just going to olive oil, like you said, you know, fresh olive oil or good quality olive oil, sometimes it's harsh because of the polyphenols or you know, in general, the fruit juice being it's in its natural form. How do you help people get accustomed to that beauty of olive oil, but you know, not feeling like, oh shit, I'm not going to take this again?
Okay, so this is a personal thing, right? And this is now the difference between olive varieties. So what's the difference between Lebanese olive oil, Italian olive oil, Greek olive oil, right? First is the variety. Some varieties are harsher. Some varieties are more pungent, spicier, right? Some varieties are bitter, but it also depends on whether it's an early harvest, because the earlier the harvest and the more bitter, the more green
olives
are, and the more bitter in it. Honestly, not all pungent olive oils are good, because one of the defects of olive oils is actually bitterness. It could be a defect. And if it's too spicy, then it becomes in the medicinal category, right? So it's something that's honestly personal. And that's why I always say that my olive oil is balanced. It's something that is balanced between fruity, bitter and pungent, right? Because I know I'm catering to, you know, different nationalities and different age groups. And I've heard it from so many clients as well, saying my kids hated olive oil until they tried yours. They actually ask for it now. You know, they have it with their labneh and it's more easy now. So honestly, it's a personal taste. It needs to be a balance. But if it's spicy, it means the polyphenols is higher. So again, it's a mindset. You know, like there are some healthy things like, I don't know, kale salad or something like that probably doesn't taste good, but you know it's good for you, so you have it. So I think you just need to get used to it, I guess.
Since you mentioned that, olives from every region is again different, is there, like how you have blended whiskey, where you put the best of everything and create one, does something like that work for olive oil, or it's just you are from Greek, you're from,
stay Greek.
Yeah, you stay Greek, and is that how it works?
Actually, no, that's a very good question, because there's single origin, which is what I'm usually, proud to say. It's a single origin, because there are some producers that, they just want to sell, right? They have like big demand, they want to sell big quantities. And you have certain farmers that don't necessarily know how to sell, and they don't have a brand, they just produce. So they buy from, let's say, 30, 40 farmers, and then they mix them and then they sell them. Okay. But blending olive oil is also an art. So there's a way to do it, and you have to know what you're doing. So you have to be an artist, and you have to be a sommelier to understand it, right? You can blend a bitter, super bitter olive oil with something that neutralizes the bitterness. And it's a similar thing like infused, by the way, infused olive oil. It's also an art, how to infuse. I mean, there's a brand in Italy that is known because they crush the lemon or the orange or the herb with the olive oil, with the process. So it's a thing, right? But if you know how, if the producer knows what they're doing, it can actually create something really good, and they can still maintain the quality. I mean, sometimes they do it out of necessity, because this olive oil, the variety is very bitter, and maybe if they wait too long, then the polyphenols might, or the nutrition value might become lower. So they might get the nutrition value but blend it with another less bitter oil to kind of. But I think it's more, they do it more for the taste. But no, it's possible, but you have to know what you're doing.
Okay. But so you also mentioned, just coming back, that you gave your friend a bottle of olive oil, and of course, luckily she was waiting for the evening. But if there's someone who doesn't open the olive oil, how long does the olive oil stay in its original form without really degrading the quality? Is it like wine that ages as it goes, or is this, like you mentioned, like fruit juice, short shelf life?
Yeah, it's a short shelf life, and the higher the quality, the longer it lasts. Okay, and there are varieties that actually sustain quality higher. Like that's also how, again, I keep saying God made. It's just what the olive is telling you, like it's telling you, I'm bitter, I'm pungent, I am green, I am yellow. There's something that we cannot control. Our job is to only carry it as it is and just improve our process. And it's funny, improving the process is elimination of intrusion.
Okay.
This is how you improve the process. You don't add to it, you just remove any human factors in it. So good variety, good quality olive oil, I have to say between a year to 18 months, only if it's stored properly. And the storage is either the metal tin, which is, nitrogen filled, or glass. It needs to be dark glass. It needs to be, I always say there are 5 enemies of olive oil: humidity, oxygen, age, heat, and light. So as long as you eliminate these, so dark glass and not plastic. Anything you see that is plastic, just run away.
Okay.
It needs to be away from the cooker and the sink. So sometimes, they used to put the tins and olive oils like under the sink or next to the cooker. It should be as far away from that as possible, in a cupboard, always with the AC on and dark. This is the best way you can actually guarantee that the quality will last.
Okay.
long.
Coming back again to the quality, a lot of people cook with olive oil. And then we end up buying which says extra virgin olive oil, probably a bigger tin that comes in. There are some brands that are available, and you cook with them. what happens to olive oil when you heat? I know that it's got a low smoking point, and that's one of the reasons that we don't fry or do anything from that process with olive oil. But from a health or the polyphenols and the antioxidants that it has, does it automatically go away as soon as you heat, or can it still sustain some amount of heat?
If you have a really, really good quality olive oil that is medicinal, that's something you take shots in the morning, you wouldn't want to cook in it.
Yeah.
And if you start also understanding that, you know, the olive oil needs to have a certain price point for it to be good, then you'd also wouldn't want to waste your money. I mean, sometimes I don't cook with olive oil. Could use sesame oil, avocado oil. So in terms of the smoke point, which is, again, the logic behind whether you cook or not, olive oil doesn't have such a low smoke point as people think. It's actually not bad. It's between 180 to 210, which is really not bad. So you can stir fry, you can cook your eggs, you can cook your steak, you know, like that's still acceptable. And I always say that olive oil is honest. So actually my slogan is pure, honest, absolute. You know, like I said, it's pure. There's no additive. It's honest because it just tells you if it's good or bad. And it's absolute because I think it's the most precious produce on earth. You know, like kings and queens are anointed by it. They use it as medicine. They use it as a symbol of peace, etc. So for me, it's an absolute food. So it tells you when it starts smoking, it tells you that the chemistry of it, the compounds are changing. So basically you can do everything up to the limit of, I don't know, deep frying or doing French fries, which again, you know, you can use cooking oil, but cooking oil is, I mean, just go to the cooking oil aisle and look at the shelf and look at the hundreds of cooking oil and you see that they're all the same color. Nothing that is created by God or nature has the same color, it has that consistency. So you know how much it's been processed. It's been degummed. They remove the particles. They add chemicals to it to hide the smoking point. So basically that's why you fry and there's very little smoke point. But that's a personal choice, you know. I mean, I'm not saying it would kill you, but just don't use it and overuse it. So I think up to 80% of food can be cooked with olive oil. Now, I would suggest that you use virgin olive oil for cooking, right? But if you're cooking something that, like fried eggs, you'd use extra virgin olive oil because the smoke point will not reach the place where the oxidization happens, but also you can still taste it because eggs cook at kind of a
lower temperature.
So you can actually still see the color of it.
Oh, very interesting. I think it's a good point that you picked up. Because I said a lot of people are confused, right? And then they're like, should I then just do avocado oil or rapeseed oil?
Look, if you can, just cook with olive oil for the rest of your life.
I mean, I cook with olive oil myself, but you know, I'm someone who cannot cook with other. I mean, I do use sesame oil when it's right.
Avocado oil, coconut oil.
I come from south of India, so for me, coconut oil is something that we use a lot. Of course, we then have our own version of sesame oil, which is not as sharp as the Asian. I mean, the Southeast Asian, which is really more sharper. We also have our version, but you know, and again in India we cook with multiple oils. You got the people cooking with mustard oil, then you have the whole segment cooking with ghee. You know, so there's a lot of fat sources ideally around us, except olive oil.
Of course.
So very interesting. So for anybody, now again, we're going back to just a layman who is standing in front of the aisle. If they are not able to get Maknoun, right? What are the ways that you can tell them that this is the way an olive oil is supposed to taste and this is bad? Like stay away. Like if there are any red flags when it comes to olive oil, if you can give them, I think it'll just make their selection process easier.
Okay, I have to say start with the price. If it's less than 100 dirhams for 500 ml, there's something fishy. So 90 to 100 dirham, then you can take the risk of buying it and trying it.
Okay.
Right? Anything that's 30, 40 dirham, there's no way. I would have been a millionaire.
There's not even olive in there.
Exactly. There's no way. So start with a price point and look, sometimes there's effort on the label. There is certification, there's single origin, there's acidity level, there's harvest date. So that's also the thing with the label. It's not production date, it's harvest date. It's not bottling date, it's harvest date. Because you could harvest in 2023 and bottle it in 2025, right? So it should say harvest date. Okay. And the harvest date, so for example, now we're in July. Harvest date should be the October of last year.
Correct.
So now October of this year is the new harvest. So harvest date, I doubt anyone talks about acidity in our region, especially in supermarket. But if you go to like, specialty stores or stores that like just focus on olive oil, then the acidity is everything. I mean, my olive oil has 0.17%. Okay. 0.8 is normally good. 0.17. I have another olive oil that's 0.3%, but that's also at bottling, because the acidity changes. Like in 6 months, it'll probably be something else. So harvest date is important. If there's effort on the label that says, a single origin, harvest date, certifications, is it organic? Like, organic is a bit overrated, by the way, when it comes to olive oil, because olive oil is organic by nature. There's the tree just like it's 1,000 years old, no one is giving it pesticides or anything. And it's usually rain fed, right? But they say organic because maybe it was pressed in an organic facility, it was bottled in an organic facility. That's a different quality, So like some Italian or European olive oils might tell you that this is from a PDO, protected designation of origin, right? Okay. So look for these things that are interesting, that you feel there's effort behind it, there's a story there, right? Like my bottle says, like we support the farmers. This is, it's a limited harvest, acidity level, harvest date, origin, the coordinates of the farm. This is from the south, this is from the north. So there's information there. And like I said, price point, a label that has a story telling you, trying to put effort to tell you where the olive is from. The variety, some people also put the variety on the label. This is so-and-so variety, especially those that are, there's like a pride element. This is a Greek variety. This is Koroniki. This is Aberkina. You know what I mean? So they would tell you that. And then buy it and try it. And I mean, you had a point. You said, how would they know? I think they would know from the freshness of it. Why don't we do a quick test? Okay. Yeah. So that what I'm talking about. So first of all, do you know why it's a blue glass? I know you're a chef, so I can't be asking you this question.
But tell the people.
The reason why olive oil is usually tested or tasted in blue glasses is because the color does not matter whatsoever. So if you ever see an ad that's telling you, look at this beautiful color, don't buy from them, right? The color of the olive oil does not matter. It's not a factor. It's always a shocking fact when I say it to people. They will be like, oh my God, I bought this olive oil because it's green in color. And I'm like, no. So it's the variety that counts. The variety that tells you, just like people, right? You cannot judge by the color, by, anything. It's just you wait for them to tell you who they are, right? So blue kind of makes you not kind of see what the color is. So this is when you go to a lab and you're basically testing an olive oil, the color should not be a factor. They should first start with the smell. This is the first sense for you to know if the olive oil is good or bad. So blue glass. So if you don't mind, I want you to pick this one. There's very little inside. No, just keep the cover.
Okay, keep the cover. Okay.
Now take it and I want you just to warm it in your hand.
Oh, just like brandy.
Yeah. Shit. Okay, so just put your finger here.
Okay.
And then warm it. Just to kind of bring the profile flavors to life.
It's like playing with dough.
Yes, exactly. Now remove the cap and smell it. And tell me what you smell.
I smell some olive, but
Okay.
I mean, I don't get any wow
Got
with it.
Okay. So this is a bad olive oil.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you have insurance or you have a lawyer here, but we're not going to name names. But I got this from a high-end supermarket, and this is a high-end brand.
Wow.
I mean, I can tell you the brand. Are you sure I'm not going to be...
Yeah, no, yeah.
This is
Oh.
extra virgin olive oil from Spain. This is the worst olive oil. This is Lampante.
It doesn't even give me that factor.
Can you smell the winey? One of the defects of olive oil is winey. It's acidic.
Yeah.
It's rancid and it's fusty, which means it's been caused like fermentation, and so everything that wrong in the book is in this olive oil, and it's extra virgin olive oil. I don't know how they would say that. Go ahead and have a sip, by the way, if you want. I didn't put much. No.
It's just bitter.
Yeah.
No.
And not in a good way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not in a good way.
You need to have a sip of water before you try this. Now, grab this. Don't open it yet.
Okay.
I want you to do the same thing. Just swirl it around and heat the cup.
So our body heat is good for olive oil.
Yeah. It's barely any heat.
Okay.
It's just to bring out the profile. And remove the cap and smell it.
Wow. That is nice.
So do you see the difference?
Oh, it's a big difference.
Right.
Big difference. This I can drink like a cup of it.
That's your shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is brilliant.
And have a sip.
Oh, this is so smooth. Oh,
It's balanced.
it is really smooth.
But that's Maknoun.
Oh,
That's from Levant.
this is a very smooth. I'm not even getting that.
Yeah. It's balanced.
I'm not doing this. It's just that not because of this. Because my throat is irritating.
Actually, it's fine if it's a little bit tingling on the throat. That means that there's polyphenols in it.
Oh, it's brilliant. I mean, it's so smooth.
Yeah, and you just want to eat it, right? You want to drink it. You want to eat it on, drizzle it on salad.
I just want some bread and some hummus at the moment. I think that's.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the difference, Gayu. Basically, it's just something that lights your, like your face lit up when you sniffed it, when you tasted it. It's supposed to make you happy,
Yeah, this surely, it made my day. It's like beautiful.
Good.
Like really beautiful. I wish you guys can.
Right?
But I'm going to. You can today. You just have to order from Maknoun.
Well, they're going to have a nice surprise at the end as well. So.
Yeah. So, no, fantastic. So this is what you do when you do your olive oil tasting.
Yes.
Is that you help people understand that what they were thinking is good olive oil was actually crap all this while.
Absolutely. And when I add cooking oil in a glass, because people can't see what's inside. So I have 7 things normally. And like I said, it could be like different origins or, different things. And sometimes I put cooking oil in one of them, just to show them how bland it is. And obviously nobody wants to taste it when I say it's cooking oil, but people say there's nothing in my cup is empty. Or they would say it's water. Or they would say, I don't know, it's some sort of fat, but I don't know what it is. So that's where the honesty thing comes. Like an olive oil should tell you if it's fresh, should tell you if it's good, should also tell you a story. When you're eating when you're drinking olive oil, like you've done it the right way because you're a chef, you know what you're doing, but that you took it in, did this, and this is the professional way of tasting olive oil. Because first of all, when you drink olive oil, it sits on your tongue, like that's the first sense, right? You get, and normally this is where you could tell if a variety is buttery or if it's smooth. So the Palestinian one is quite buttery, so it's quite heavy and intense. The Lebanese one is quite smooth. So you don't feel that heaviness of fat like ghee or, something that sits heavy. And then when you do this, so basically you just get the particles to go to the back of your throat, and you sprinkle it here, because this is where we taste the bitterness, right here.
Yeah.
So this is where you can taste the green grass, the green olive taste. And then you swallow it. And when you swallow it, this is where you taste the pungency, the spiciness or the pungeness of the olive oil. So I always say olive oil will take you on a story of its taste profile, and it's never bland. It's never one thing. It's always, because it's just so pure. It's always different kind of like senses.
But I had a question in my head. Is this the only olive oil at Maknoun, or like you said, you get from different Levant regions? So does the olive oil change?
Okay. So from Lebanon, I have olive oil from the south. I have olive oil from the north. In Palestine, also, we have two regions that we work with. I have olive oil from Syria, and I've just launched olive oil from Jordan, which has won more than 15 international awards.
Kudos to that.
Yes. So I'm very, very, very proud of the olive oil that I bring. Now, if let's say you like this one, and this is a variety that is in the south, right? And you want to buy this one every year, then the one that you get every year will just taste fresher. But it will taste the same.
Okay.
So if it's smooth, it will always be smooth. If it's pungent, it will always be pungent, right? I mean, it will probably have minor changes that we would not be able to, differentiate. Like maybe if you take it to a lab or like a sommelier that like knows everything, maybe they will tell you, it has less bitterness than last year, but we will never know. But if you take one from the north, or if you take the Jordanian one, so what I try to do is I try to offer some sort of consistency, because I work with a lot of chefs as well, and consistency, as you know, as a chef, that it's important. But at the same time, I know that people are sometimes buying olive oil for the quality. They don't care if it's the south or the north, etc., unless there's a political thing behind it. But also, I try to work with as many farmers as possible. So I have a lot of farmers that actually get in touch with me on Facebook or Instagram and say, we would like to work with you. So I always start with a sample. Get me a sample and I'll try it. Even if it's last year's sample, I would still know if it's a good olive oil or not. And then if it's good, I'll give them a chance, and I'll introduce their olive oil, and I'll buy from them, and I'll talk about that region, and or I'll talk about the profile of the olive oil, and I'll tell you, like for example, I'll tell you the Palestinian olive oil is more dense, it's more buttery, it's good for cooking steak, and so I'll tell you and have people choose for themselves. But I would never take olive oil from a farmer, no matter how much I want to support them, if it's not good. But this is where I draw the line, because I'm creating a brand that people can now trust and know that whatever I'm putting my name behind it, this is why I got the certification, because I wanted to understand the facts, not just, it tastes good, I'm from Lebanon, so it must be a good olive oil. No, there's literally a lot of vetting that goes behind it.
Which is your favorite oil, and where is it from? Did I just put you on the spot?
Oh my God.
It's like you have to pick your favorite child,
Exactly. Depends if they're listening. Okay. So you've asked me which is my favorite olive oil, but I'm glad you didn't ask me what is the best olive oil, right? Okay. My favorite right now, is the Jordanian. Please, my Lebanese community, don't take the passport away from me. Right now, my favorite is the Jordanian. It's fantastic. It's amazing. High in polyphenols. It's, like I said, it's winning awards for a reason. My favorite in terms of something that I'm really proud of, it's also a region that we just introduced. We've been doing this for 5 years. We've also always carried Lebanon, Palestine, Syria. And now we've introduced Jordan, which is something I'm very excited about as well. So right now it's my favorite. But I'm a hardcore Lebanese fan. So obviously the Lebanese one. And the reason why I said I'm glad you didn't ask me what's the best olive oil, because I always say the best olive oil, it depends on what you mean by best. I ask people, who's the most beautiful girl in the world? You would say it's your daughter, or someone would say it's someone who's blonde. It's really personal. The best olive oil, it depends. Is it the best for salads? Is it the best for cooking? Is it the best for olive oil shots? Is it the most medicinal? Is it the most balanced? It really depends. So there's no such thing as best. Like I said, we're saying it as it is. I will always support the Lebanese olive oil because I'm from Lebanon. My favorite right now is a Jordanian because I want to, I want to give it a platform. It's won so many awards. It's higher in polyphenols than any olive oil I carry. And the best olive oil, there's an olive oil in Cyprus that has over 1,000 mg of polyphenols in it. But good luck liking it. It's like having cough syrup. You know what I mean? So it really depends.
Okay. Coming to some interesting, I'm going to put you maybe on the pedestal again in terms of, the segment is called Hot Seat, Cold Truths. Yeah.
Oh.
So maybe slightly challenging ones here.
Okay.
Yeah. Bread or spoon? What's the best way to enjoy olive oil?
A spoon or a small shot glass.
No dipping your caboose in
later, later, but no, not first thing.
Okay. One food that you would drizzle extra virgin olive oil on that would completely surprise people.
Ice cream.
I love
ice cream and yogurt.
I love it. The biggest olive oil myth in one sentence.
If it's green color, then it's good.
If you could ban one thing from supermarket olive oil marketing forever, what would it be?
Saying extra virgin when it's not.
If you could use one olive oil for the rest of your life, what style or origin would you choose?
Lebanon.
All hearts to Lebanon. Myth or fact, olive oil gets better with age like wine. I think you've already answered that.
Sorry. No.
The fresher, the better.
Yeah, absolutely.
True or false? The more an olive oil makes you cough, the higher the polyphenols.
Sorry, it's true. Yes. But it has to be a good cough, not like bitterness. Yeah. Bitterness could be harmful. Yeah.
Okay. Spain or Lebanon?
Oh, Lebanon. Of course.
For the olive oil. Okay. Finish the sentence. The one thing that everyone gets wrong about olive oil is?
It's better with age.
Unlike women.
Or you can't cook with olive oil.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you for the answers. Coming to the segment of mine, it's called the 1%. I know today's conversation was not about women's health in general. We just spoke about the passion that we have for olive oil in general. But my podcast has always predominantly been women wellness. And I know that when it even comes to buying stuff for the house, it's always women, right? So the women listening are generally, the people listening are women. So this segment is called 1%, because 99% of my podcast are all about women wellness, but we know men are a part of our lives too. What would your 1% advice be to the men in our lives? What can men do better to support women?
Increase the olive oil budget. I'm sorry.
I love that.
Yeah.
There are a few things in my life I call as liquid gold. Yeah. For me, olive oil is one. Bone broth is one. I love pomegranate molasses.
Yeah, honey sometimes it's called liquid gold as well.
And now you got the whole matcha, which again is falling under the same category.
Green gold.
Yeah, green gold. Any parting advice for our listeners, especially someone, like I said, today's conversation has been wonderful to understand what goes behind a bottle of olive oil, right? And how do you identify a good one to a bad one? But any parting advice to our listeners, and how can they get in touch with you? Where can they buy Maknoun?
Thank you, obviously, for giving me the platform. A parting advice is, people look at olive oil as a fat, and I look at it as a chemistry, as something that cures. Olive oil is one of the healthiest things on earth. If it's good, it actually improves, our cells, improves our cardiovascular. Basically, this is obviously not a medical advice, but it, improves our health. It's good for the blood vessels, for the cells, anti-aging. It's the most researched and respected food on the planet. Polyphenols and oleocanthal, which are two compounds in olive oil that are good fats. It's it's high in polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats. So I want people to understand that nature has a medicine cabinet, and there are so many benefits from olive oil, but only if it's right, only if it's true extra virgin olive oil. To just understand that, there is good olive oil, not to go and just follow the marketing gimmicks. I mean, there are brands that made millions from an olive oil brand that was selling it in plastic, for example. So look for information. It's there. Now no one has an excuse, right? The information is there. We have ChatGPT, we have all these, platforms that are actually giving us the information. And I think the whole world is going into holistic approach and going within. So I think to take the time and actually understand what they're eating, but also to look for brands that are actually making a difference, not because an olive oil says it's Italian, it means we have to blindly trust it. Support local communities, support local brands, give them a chance, try them, talk about them, share them. I think this is the best way where we can come together as a community and help each other.
True.
Maknoun can be found in so many retailers, but mainly online, discovermaknoun.com. And I wanted to do something special for your audience.
Okay.
I'm gonna give a 10% discount.
Wow.
For the next 3 months. I don't know if I should say the code now or if you want to write it later, but it's basically Gayu 10. So 10% discount for all of your listeners. Anyone who comes across, you can send it, to people, email them for the next 3 months. Anything on our website. We also have nice zatars, sea salts. I have a balsamic vinegar that's actually a reduction from pomegranate molasses, and it has date syrup in it, so it's even like higher in antioxidant. So there are so many beautiful products. I have a gifting range, etc. So anything 10%, Gayu's audience.
Thank you so much. That was very generous of you, Hanan.
Of course, thank you.
And I loved this episode completely. First of all, I'm still thinking about the olive oil, but thanks a lot, right? For clarifying the doubts that, generally we're Googling, to understand whether this was right about olive oil or not. So thanks a lot for sharing your wisdom, Hanan.
Of course, anytime.
That's a wrap for today. I think today's episode would have 100% helped you when you're trying to make the decision while looking at the supermarket aisle. And for all the listeners who are in UAE, make sure to buy the olive oil from Maknoun. Trust me, this olive oil is actually liquid gold. I'm Gayu Lewis, and until next time, menopause, why pause? Let's play.